Hi, I'm Alexander Ward. For my student innovation project, I utilized Python to create a framework with a GUI that interacts between third-party tools and Windows command line to facilitate security auditing. In its current state, it can find sensitive files, conduct network scanning, find SMB vulnerabilities, brute force those SMB vulnerabilities, install a backdoor, and lastly, it allows the user to connect to that backdoor. In the future, I would like to develop it to cover a multitude of vulnerabilities that are often discovered during security audits. While my product is in its initial development stage, it is already functional with many completed modules. There are a few frameworks that have both command line and GUI interface that provide similar functionality. The first that comes to mind is Metasploit. It has a GUI front end called Armitage that combines all the feedback and commands. It is used to find and send exploits against known vulnerabilities. And Guma is another great penetration vulnerability research toolkit that has multiple modules to include discover hosts, gather information, fuzz targets, brute force username and passwords, and exploits. Lastly, the social engineering toolkit is a framework that allows the user to conduct attacks against the human aspect of auditing. Each of these frameworks offers something different for the user. What separates my framework from the others is that mine is more novice-friendly, Windows-focused, and allows the use of external tools. I've separated my tool into two main modules, local machine and network. The local machine module provides a way to do basic machine enumeration. Within this module, I decided to look at a few submodules that are going to be of importance. The first is wireless configuration. This is going to be the information that is stored within your adapter profile. This means that whenever you connect to a new access point, it's going to ask you home, work, or public. This is where it stores that information. I have here my wife's access point, she called it Lynn, the authentication, the cipher, and lastly the password that was used. So that way whenever you are within range of your access point, it automatically reconnects you with that password. This is all stored per adapter. If you have multiple network interface cards that are wireless capable, it'll have multiple different stored profiles. In this next portion, we have the active connections. I'm actively connected to this network or this router called UNC Guest. This is the information about it. Now, the thing I want to point out is that the signal strength is 85%. Now, if this was a rogue access point, maybe it would be more, maybe it would be less. But as a network administrator, you should know the distance in which your clients are from the access point. The next two submodules, shared folders and accounts, are very valuable for doing any sort of incident response. Shared folders is going to show you what network shares are listed. Now, this is going to be indicative of the file shares that the network admin has set up, or if an attacker has gone into the network, maybe they set up their own off the system. Next, we have accounts. The accounts is going to show you what system accounts are on this box. However, if the attacker has created a new account, you'd also be able to see it there.
Next up, we have the Windows enumeration submodule. Under here, I can go ahead and list all the current domains that this device can see. After that, I can look at the devices of each domain, and lastly, the device table. I have a nice little NetBIOS legend here that will go ahead and tell me what I'm looking at. I'm going to go ahead and go after our 2K3 server, and basically this is what we can see. We have the NetBIOS information, and it's a basic workstation. It is a domain controller, which is very important. This is where we want to go. Under here we have the summary, and this is going to give us just basic information. We have the IP, the domain, and host name. It is offering any file shares, and as well as the domain controller. Under here we can see what accounts that the 2K3 server is offering or has. This is important because this is where the SMB allow anonymous connections comes into play. If you have that disallowed, you're not going to be able to provide the usernames like this will. And as you can see, we have all the usernames for the target. Now this is very bad because now we can do brute force SMBs attack. So we're going to go ahead and launch this tool called Brooder, and we're going to go ahead and try to attack our target. Before we do our brute force, we want to make sure that the password policy allows us to do this without locking out the accounts. So if we launch the password policies, we can actually see that the password policy indicates that there is no lockout. So we can try as many times and conduct this brute force. Under SMB brute force, we're going to use a tool called Brooder, and we're going to use the username administrator that we got from these accounts over here. We're going to go ahead and start the attack, And we'll let this go. And what do you know? It's at the top of the word list. With the credentials that we got from the previous module, we can go ahead and install Backdoor. So we're going to go ahead and choose Windows XP and below because it's Windows 2003, and it's going to go ahead and install. And now that it's installed, we can try to connect to it. Connect and provide the password for the backdoor, and it's provided on the information, password 2. And what do you know? We have a backdoor onto the system.